One of the most powerful words in the English language is why. There's a great book and TED Talk by a gentleman named Simon Sinek called Start With Why. I highly recommend it. It's had a big impact on me in my personal and professional life. And in it, Simon talks about the fact that most of us, when we're discussing our work, talk about what we do. I'm a fundraiser. I work for a hospital or school. But we never get to why we do what we do. And Simon says that people don't respond, buy, support, or donate to what we do. They respond, buy, support, donate to why we do. So it's really important to know the why. First of all, our own why. What's your why? Why do you work for the organization you work for? Why do you make the sacrifices you make? And you need to get really clear on delivering that why in a concise and compelling way. That's going to come through when you're interacting with donors. The second why to get clarity on is your organization's why. There are about 1.4 million 501c3s out there. Why would anybody want to support our organization? Why would anybody care? So you and your team and board need to get really clear and on the same page with your why. And then the third, and I think most important, is your donor's why. Why is the donor loyal? Why do they support you over all those years? And the best way to find that out is simply ask them. It's a great, powerful question. And by asking your donors why, several things are going to come out of that. Number one is it's going to show the donor that you really care about them. My wife Lorraine and I have a number of charities in our estate plan, as well as a donor advised fund. So I'm dealing with a fair amount of fundraisers, both on a professional and personal level as a donor. And I can tell you as a donor, most fundraisers are not asking us why we give and why we are loyal. So that's going to separate you from a lot of other fundraisers out there. Secondly, it's going to help the donor emotionally connect with your organization. People make decisions, donate on an emotional level, and we're continually looking for ways to connect emotionally. So it's going to get the donor thinking about why they do support and what that means to them on an emotional level. The third thing it's going to do, it's going to help you qualify donors. So I've worked with plenty of donors who are giving $250, $500 a year for a long time. And when I ask them their why, many times there really is not a strong why. It's just hey, I get the mailings and I send you a check. There's not much there. Now, I'm not going to disqualify a donor based on that response, but it might tell me a little bit about the likelihood that they're going to want to have a conversation about doing more and why they would want to do more. On the other hand, when I speak with a donor and they have a really strong why, and maybe they get emotional, even teary-eyed when they start talking about their why, then I know there's something extra there. There's something special. And certainly I'm going to bring those donors to the top of my priority list. So get really clear on your why. Make sure you start with why whenever you're communicating with people in your verbal communication and your written communication, your marketing. What's the why? Start with why. Why would anybody care? Be very intentional about asking your donors why they give. It's a great conversation starter. You're going to be amazed at the responses you get and what you're going to learn. So for more ideas, come on back to joetumalo.com. I'm constantly adding free tips. If you'd like to have a conversation about my coming in to do a workshop at your organization or association, or about my in-house training and coaching, please drop me a line, joe@joetumalo.com. Until next time, all the best to you in your work.